is like
Gallery
a
view
river,
button.
ever changing as it flows. And the dream is just a vessel that must follow where it goes, trying to learn from what's behind and never knowing what's in store. Makes each day a constant battle just to stay between the shore. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I am Maxwell Ivy, known around the world as the Blind Blogger, and you can find me at theblindblogger.net. I want to welcome you to another episode of What's Your Excuse, where I interview people who have overcome adversity or thrived in spite of difficult life circumstances, people who have struck out on their own and started a new business, people who have world-tested advice to share with you to help you move towards your goals, and people who just happen to inspire or interest me personally. And at theblindblogger.net, you can hire me to get you booked on podcasts and radio shows, which is a very, very common theme right now, because if you're like me, your speaking events have been canceled, face-to-face networking is out, sadly, because of the coronavirus and the way it's affecting our lives, the way it's affecting business and our economy. So you're having to find new ways to do old things. And one of the best ways to do that is to be interviewed on podcasts and radio shows. And I will bring my 7 years of experience to that to help you at theblindblogger.net. Please do visit our sponsor, Chip Edwards, Pam Edwards at Create My Voice. They're the ones who allow people to find my blog and my podcast on Alexa and Google. You just have to say, Alexa, play The Blind Blogger, or Alexa, play What's Your Excuse on TuneIn, or Google Talk to The Blind Blogger, or Google Talk to What's Your Excuse Show. And if you want to find Chip, you just say, Alexa, play Create My Voice, or Google Talk to Create My Voice, or the old-fashioned way, createmyvoice.com. So today I'm going to spend a few minutes with my friend, Elisa Tovar. I met her over a year ago when she reached out to me. I had been expressing some frustration about not being able to get more opportunities to share my story in front of groups. And she saw my post on Facebook and reached out to me. She introduced me to a great group called the Visually Impaired People of Southeast Texas. She made the arrangements, so I went and spoke to them at one of their meetings. I had a great time sharing my story. She gave me one of the most powerful introductions of anybody ever online or in person, to the point that I actually lost my train of thought for about 30 or 45 seconds. But she's a very enthusiastic person usually. Today I think she has a little bit of a cold. And I'm looking forward to sharing more of her with y'all, and maybe y'all can learn a little bit more about what it is to be somebody who lives with one of the many versions of visual impairment. So Elisa, thank you and welcome to What's Your Excuse?
Thank you, Max, for having me on your show this morning. I do have a slight cold, but I'm going to go with this and do this thing because I got no excuses.
Yeah, just so people don't wonder what happened. I'm guessing it's because so many more people are at home on their devices, but Zoom would not allow her to sign in. So we're doing this from the phone, which is just the way the big dogs at Sirius and NBC and CBS radio are doing it these days. So really glad to get to spend some time with you. And I'm going to ask some questions mainly because I don't know the answers myself, and hopefully the audience will get to know you a little better. So the first question people ask me is, one, what is your vision and what is it caused by, and how did you start losing, or how did you lose it? So can you talk a little bit about your current vision condition?
I am born premature. I was born 5 months early due to retinopathy in the eyes. I'm not sure what it really caused my vision, but I was born totally blind. I'm 26 years old. I live with a family of 5 people. I have 2 great, cute nephews, and I enjoy my nephews to pieces. I love them. My nephews are John Isaiah Tenorio and Julius Jermaine Gonzalez. He's 1 year old, and my other nephew is 4 years old.
All right. And what was your school experience like?
School experience was wonderful. I was always communicating with everyone. I was always a chatty person. Everyone knew who I was. everyone said, "Oh, there comes Elisa." I was like, "Yes, I'm here. I made it."
Yeah, and what were your favorite subjects in school, and what were some of the things they did to help you so that you were able to succeed in school?
Well, I didn't really have any favorite subjects in school, but some things that helped me succeed were my VI teachers that came in and helped me and my teachers get the curriculum that I needed and the
It's
materials
11 o'clock.
that I needed. And it was just something that I learned throughout my
Hang on.
life. And like Mira said, you
Voiceover
have
off.
to always have courage and fear, and don't let fear get your way. Sometimes I do that these days. Thanks to Mira, who was on your show recently, gave some good hints.
Yeah, now what exactly does VI stand for, and what were some of the things that they taught you?
I didn't understand your question. Could you clarify your question, Maxwell?
You said they brought in a VI person. I was wondering what the VI stood for, so people who don't know the words you're using will understand.
I had a visually impaired VI teacher who came to my classes and helped me with schoolwork.
Okay, good, good. And were you involved in any extracurricular activities, or was it just getting through school and being done with it?
I was involved with choir for all my high school years and middle school, elementary years. And I think that's the only curricular activity I know of that I was involved with was choir. And yeah.
Well, I love to sing, and I was in choir until my voice started to change in junior high school. So, what were some of the things where I'm sure people are going to wonder, how were you able to sing in a choir when you pretty much have to read new music all the time?
My VI teachers had a Braille transcriptionist, which that means that is a person who transforms your music into Braille. And it was kind of challenging, but we managed it.
Yeah, I tried to learn how to read music Braille once, and it was not a fun experience at all. And after about a month of trying, I just gave up on it. So for people who don't know this, there are two grades of Braille, grade one, well, there's three grades of Braille, grade one, grade two, grade three. Very few people use grade three because there's so little benefit for the additional work you have to do to learn it. Most of us are reading grade two Braille, but there's a whole different kind of Braille for music. And basically you have to use the same symbols that you use for reading. You have to tell your mind that they mean different things. Am I following that correctly?
You're correct, Max.
Yeah, and I noticed that you were humming along with me or singing along softly as I sang my intro. So does that mean before we're through, you want to sing too? Because we allow that on What's Your Excuse show.
I was kind of humming with you, but I didn't know you could tell. I was kind of being myself.
Well, I have that problem too. I've had show hosts mute me because I was singing along with their bumper music.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here. I said,
what were you saying? Can you repeat yourself?
Yeah, I said, I've had show hosts that have muted me because I was singing along with their bumper music and people could hear me over their recordings. So.
Oh, wow, that's not good.
No, it was fun. It was okay. Nobody, they didn't say nothing about it, but some music I don't know at all and can't sing at all and have no interest, but if they play the right music, it's hard for me not to sing along. So I'm totally fine with you doing what you did, because that's just who people. I tell people, don't ever ask a singer if they want to sing, because the answer will always be yes. They could have been in ICU in a coma yesterday. The answer will still be yes. So it's just hard. It's hard to curb those instincts. So, so you went through high school. Did you attend college, or did you go straight into working?
I attended a school in Austin called the Texas School of the Blind. And I went to the exit program for about 2 years, 2 years to be exact. And I learned how to be independent, manage money, do grocery shopping, cooking, cleaning, all the tasks that you need to live on your own to be a visually impaired person.
Okay, well, one of these days I'm going to have to go there, because I've been told I'm not a very good example of a visually impaired person, especially when I travel. All right. So, what were some of the what was the hardest thing you had to learn during your training to be more independent?
Well, learning how to cook because I'm scared of heat. So learning how to cook was my fear.
Well, you don't suppose they'll ever realize that, you pretty much don't have to cook if you don't want to. There's so much stuff you can make in a microwave if you
I know. Well,
if
you can order apps now because now these days we got our iPhones.
yeah, I haven't tried Grubhub, but I understand just about any restaurant worth eating from has got a delivery
hmm
option these days. So, um, well, what were some of the things that they taught you to help you become more comfortable in the kitchen?
Well, they taught me how to like wash dishes, clean counters. One thing I will take is cleaning up after myself. I would never do that when I was home. Now I do it more often than before because I would just leave my stuff there and have somebody pick it up for me, but that's not very friendly.
I'm going to tell on myself here. Back a few years ago, I was much heavier than I am now. I was up over 500 pounds.
Yeah, I
And
know that.
yeah, you know that. But the audience that's listening today might not know that.
Oh,
So there was a time where if I dropped something on the floor and I didn't hear where it landed and it didn't land and stick where it landed, because I don't know about you, but when I drop stuff, they tend to bounce on the floor and roll around places. But
yeah,
if
and it's
it,
hard to find.
oh yeah, if I've determined that anything round that falls on the floor automatically becomes a hockey puck because you're going to kick it 2 or 3 times before you find it. But
Yep,
my approach was I would make one effort to find it. If I didn't find it in my first try, it was going to stay on the floor until I get somebody else to look for it because it was just too hard to bend down and stay down.
same
Uh,
here. I would ask somebody, "Is it there?" And they say no, I can't see. If they couldn't find it, then I'll have to dig around more.
well, Corona is a big thing now. So do you think the way they taught you to clean is effective in keeping a house safe? I mean,
Well, yeah. I mean, I do it sometimes, but since I've been sick lately, I've been resting.
it just makes me wonder what they're teaching the visually impaired as far as the proper way to clean, considering that that's becoming a really big deal. That's
And I'm very, very, very fortunate to have family that cares about me and loves me and that wants to the best for me. And
and that's one
I
of the
guess,
things that's one of the things I think is interesting. A few, let's say before 2007, 2008, when we had the mortgage crisis, and people had to start living with friends and family out of necessity. If me as a podcast host or somebody else as a blogger said, I'm living with my family, people would have thought, okay, you're supposed to be successful, I'm supposed to listen to you, but you're living with your family. That would have been, but now, so many people have had to find other ways to make do, that you can still be killing it and be seen as a role model, even if you're living in the fourth room of your family's house like I am. I think it's really interesting the way things have changed, because it wasn't too long ago, if you didn't graduate from high school or college, immediately move out of your parents' house and go get your own apartment, there was something wrong with you. So we're living in a pretty good time when it comes to that part of things.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So you live with 5 family members. I live with my 75-year-old mom, my younger brother Patrick, his son Seth, and once upon a time we had a very crazy dog that was like having 2 other people, but she's not with us no more. Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
yeah, well, I lost her 2 years ago, and for some reason, every time that post gets shared, it's like it happened yesterday all over again. But
Oh, I'm sorry to
so
hear about that as
yeah,
well.
yeah. So besides all the family, y'all have any pets?
We have one pet. She's a mixed poodle.
Well, poodles can be really good dogs, especially if they're mixed with the standard poodle and not the miniature or toy versions.
Yep, yep. Any more questions, my friend? Take it away.
All right. So are you employed currently? And if so, how are you? Part time, full time, self employed? What are you up to as far as making a living?
Can you repeat your question because you kind of asked so many things there, my friend?
I'm sorry. Okay. Where are you currently working, and are you full time, part time, self employed? I'm just curious how things are going for Elisa.
Well, I'm currently at home right now. I was currently working at Burlington's in New King, Texas, but They only hired me for seasonal, so I'm just at home trying to look for more jobs. Yeah, I don't know. Max, does that answer your question, my friend?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm sitting here thinking she worked at Burlington's. I want, and I really don't know many blind people, period, especially many that are working in or have worked in retail like that. So what were some of the things y'all figured out to allow you to do that job?
Well, my job developer, Becky, talked to the supervisor and manager at the job, and we got it to work. There was some days that it was a fast pace because of the holidays, but I had blisters coming home, but, I managed going back there.
Well, what were some of the techniques y'all employed?
Well, we didn't really employ much. I just learned on my own and opened the packages on my own and did it on my own.
Okay, so your job was to open the packages and put the merchandise on the shelves?
No, I was a flex person. So I only came in when they needed me, and I would open packages like the laundry, like the clothes, and take it out the packages and have the other coworkers pick it and tag it.
Okay. All right. So they, and how long did you work at Burlington before the seasonal stuff ended?
Since December 19th of 2019.
Okay. So from September through to December or January you
No,
worked there?
December of last year. I started in August of last year.
All right. Well, I think you should be really proud of that, and hopefully they will hire you back when they need more help again. But do you feel like what you learned is something you can do for another store or another business owner?
Yeah, I feel like I can learn and teach it to other people, and I feel like I can show other blind individuals that even if you don't want to work, even if you say you can't do it, don't give up. Don't ever give up. Have courage. Like Mira said, always have courage. I mean, Mira, sorry.
Okay, now, one of the reasons why we are friends is you are very active on social media. So, how long have you been on Facebook, and what are some of the challenges you've had with
I've been on Facebook maybe about 12 years ago. I can't really recall 'cause I don't know how long I've been on Facebook, to be honest with you. I can recall the messenger changes that are updating every constantly. It's very annoying because I couldn't see a message about the freaking Zoom chat, so I had to call you like this.
it? Right. Well, I know for
And
me,
when
I
they
hate
come up with
Facebook.
new updates and new Facebook tags and whatever, it's very confusing.
Yes, one day you can type the @ symbol in your post, and it brings up a list of people, and the next day you have to go in and click the tag button. Some
Yes,
days it
I
says,
understand. Yes, which I do
yeah,
that all the time. I share. I'm a quite adventurous girl with my friend Max here. I do share all of his posts. I can give myself credit for this. Whoop, whoop.
right. Well, do you think that in the
Gee,
future you might
Max,
be able
I'm
to
giving
make
myself credit here, bro.
a? No, I was going to say, have you thought about the possibility of making a living as a social media manager for somebody, and know
Maybe
that
for
it's not a
you, yes.
job offer?
Maybe for you, yes.
Maybe for me, yes.
If you let
Yes,
me.
but those skills would apply to anybody, you know? I mean, uh,
I choose you as an example because we talk a lot, we do things a lot, we share things back and forth. We're nuts together.
yes, we are. Yes, we are. So, have you thought about going on to any of the other social media networks, or are you pretty happy, or are you happy with just the one network of Facebook?
Just the one that works on Facebook, which I do have Instagram, but I don't use Instagram because I just don't like it.
Well, I don't like Instagram because there's no way for me to use it from my laptop. You have to use it from your phone or your tablet, and
Yep, I agree.
yeah, and you have the difficulty of finding the image that you want and being sure that you're
Yes,
posting a story
it's
about
very
the right
challenging,
picture.
especially if you're visually impaired.
yeah. We need Apple to get on that because most of my friends, they would change they change the names of their files before they send them to me. But when they come in on my phone, Apple changes the names to numbers, and I really hate that.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what are you what are you planning on doing in the near future? Have you got any plans? Any crazy ideas you're working on? I know you were working on an expo with our friend Ken, but I guess that's been canceled.
What was your question? I did not understand
I
your
said
question. You just
I said you
cut out
okay.
there, bro.
Yeah, I think maybe it's the headphones, but I mean, you
Yeah, are
were.
you using those ugly headphones that you had that you were trying to get everyone to test with Mira?
They are not ugly.
I'm a jack.
Yeah, it's the
I'm a
blind
jerk.
girl telling the blind guy his headphones are ugly. Yeah, I like that. That's good. That's really
I'm
cool.
just kidding, my friend. I love you, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they look either. I haven't gotten anybody yet that'll give me an honest answer on that part of it. But I'm
No, but
hoping.
what was your question, friend? For real.
Okay,
What's
yeah.
your question, my friend?
No, I
We're off
was
topic.
yes. Well, we do that on What's Your Excuse. It's tangents are welcome. So, um, you were working on a disability expo with one of our other friends, but I'm assuming that's been canceled. But you've done that the last couple of years. Could you tell people about that?
I have been an attendee for the Houston Visually Impaired Habit Insight Expo, along with my good friend and President Ron Grant, and along with my good C Vision Image LLC consultant LLC Chelsea Nguyen.
Okay. And
I
what
think
what
I
usually
butchered it
go?
wrong, Max. I
Yes,
swear,
I'm
okay?
sorry. I'm sorry. What
So
usually goes on at this event?
we have workshops that go on. We have exhibitors that present in the exhibit hall. I was supposed to be an exhibitor this year, but our event is being postponed / canceled because of the coronavirus.
Okay. And what were you going to present about? What was your booth going to be for?
I was going to present about the VIPSET of Southeast Texas support group that is here in Kingwood that meets every third Monday of the month, but that is also being canceled this month due to the coronavirus.
Okay. Have y'all considered having your meeting over the phone the way the National Federation for the Blind at large group does it here in Texas? Like using a conference?
No,
No?
no.
Well, it's those systems aren't very difficult to use. I've used them. Although the American Foundation for the Blind recently switched over to Zoom, but
And so did the iBug Today, Apple workshops, and everything else has been switched to via Zoom. So if anybody is interested in joining the Apple workshops and iBug Today, that is another organization here in Houston, Texas, please feel free to join them and us on Zoom.
okay. Do you have a link you can give me that I can share online after we're through?
Oh, I can check it on my messages, and I can message it to you through Messenger, my friend.
All right. Or if you can't find it, if you could get the people at iBug to send it to me directly, that would work too.
Yes, I sure will, my friend. Anything else, my friend?
All right. So, what are now you? What devices are you currently using for your technology?
I have an iPhone 8. I have an Amazon Alexa that I currently use to stream and listen to music, of course. I got to stream my blind blogger. Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm a big fan, so sorry, guys. I have a computer that's Windows. I bought myself recently. I use Talking Typing Teacher on that computer. And that's basically all the technology I can think of. Oh, yes, and I got some Apple AirPods, the Pros, the new ones.
Okay, on your desktop, you're a Windows user. So, are you using JAWS, or is that currently out of your price range?
I'm using JAWS. They got it for me through a organization. Well, I bought this computer through a place called Computers for the Blind, which is in Garland, Texas, here in Dallas.
Okay, well, would you like to tell people a little bit about Computers for the Blind and how that went as far as getting your computer?
Well, I got a computer from Computers for the Blind through my good friends and helpers that I know. I'm very gracious enough to have a good helper named John Gutierrez, who recently passed away due to a surgery that he was having. He helped me get this computer purchased, and I did it with my SSI awards letter that I have, which most of you might not know what that is. Max, can you clarify that? My throat is scratchy right now.
Right, right. Well, a lot of people that
I'm getting
are visually impaired or otherwise disabled, they receive supplemental security income from the Social Security program, or they may receive Social Security disability income, or they may receive a combination of both of those. And many people will tell you it's nowhere near close to what it costs for somebody to actually live, but that's a subject for another podcast and another day. But the thing is a lot of programs like Computers for the Blind, I'm assuming, will help people if they can prove that they're financially needy. And if you have such little income that you qualify.
Computers for the Blind can help you if you turn in your letter. They can reduce the price of your computer.
All right. And do they only do Windows products, or do they also do Apple?
They do laptops, but I'm not sure about Windows. I'm not sure about Apple. Sorry, my friend.
Okay. All right. Because I've
That's
actually
nice.
been thinking that it's about time that I get a dedicated computer for my podcast recording, as opposed to using my 7-year-old laptop and whatever other stuff I can hook up to it to make it do what it needs to do. Plus, I hear that sound editing is a lot easier if you're using JAWS than it is if you're using VoiceOver. And right, I'm currently a VoiceOver user mainly because years ago the JAWS-based, Windows-based laptops kept breaking, and the only way I could actually use a laptop when I was still traveling was to switch to an Apple. And since their devices held up to my needs at the time, I've stuck with them. And of course, the iPhone and the iPad are they're the only phones and tablets that are totally accessible. So that's another reason I've stayed with them. But there are a lot of things that you can do easier online with JAWS than you can with VoiceOver. And that's really weird because for those of y'all who are not following what I'm saying, if you have a Windows computer, you have to buy a separate piece of software called JAWS for Windows that makes it talk. So every time Windows upgrades, you have to upgrade your speech software. If you have an Apple computer, you have what's called VoiceOver, and VoiceOver is integrated into the operating system. And anytime Apple upgrades their operating system, your VoiceOver is automatically upgraded. But just because of the way people design websites, there are some websites online that are easier to use with JAWS than they are with VoiceOver. And it's a shame that you can't just pick one platform and do everything easily, but it just isn't possible, at least not now. So I'm going to have to look into those people. And like she was saying, if you have your letter from SSI or SSDI or some other government program, then that would probably verify your income so they can.
It's your awards letter, if you're wondering
Your
what I'm talking about.
Your awards letter. Yeah.
Any more questions, my friend, before we cut off here? I know you got a meeting at 2.
No, my meeting, let's see, meeting at 2? At 2.
You told me that yesterday through message.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That is right. I do have a meeting at 2. You know, you threw me off because we started at 10:30 instead of 11. Okay.
No, we started at 11 o'clock, brother.
Well, that's not what my watch said. I'm sorry. But it hasn't been synced with my phone. It's a smartwatch and it hasn't been synced with my phone lately, so it could be wrong.
Your phone's at 11 o'clock when you click the record button, FYI.
Well, I said that a little after. All right. So what I want to know is, just one more question, I guess, would be.
Oh gosh, I guess. Well, I would like to share something.
Yeah. How do you see your future at this? How do you see your future at this point?
I see my future as a good person, helping others. I always socialize with others. I'm very excited. I'm a smart person. I see my future going to Austin, Texas, in the future because I want to move there.
Have you considered that you might be perfect to start your own nonprofit? Because, sometimes people do that. They start a nonprofit, they do good work, and then they pay themselves a salary for doing the work. Have anything like that crossed your mind?
No,
No, because you've started organizations before, right? Or you've helped found them.
help some, but not really started any organization.
All right. Well, before I quit, do you want to sing or not?
No, but I would like to share something,
Okay.
if it's possible, with my friend and blind blogger. I don't know,
All right, go
Max,
ahead.
are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
So last month, I went to a Touch Tour barbecue cook-off with my good friend Chelsea C. Nguyen, and I got to meet my friend Stephanie McCoy, aka Steph, last month. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, for those of y'all who don't know what she's talking about, is a touch tour is where they modify a tour, usually of a museum, but in this case it was the world
Rodeo.
famous. Yeah, in this case it was the world famous Texas livestock show, Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo barbecue cook-off, and they find ways to let people touch things and experience them so they can get an idea of more of how things look and be more involved and immersed in the activity. And yeah, Chelsea is a good friend of ours, so is Steph. And I wish I had been there, but I was in Orlando giving a talk that week, or we would have definitely got the band back together again, because me, Stephanie, and Chelsea seem to keep turning up in the same place over and over again. So that must have been amazing. What were some of the things they had y'all do down there?
We got to touch baked dead animal skins. We got to eat brisket, barbecue, sausage, baked beans, potato salad. We were gonna get some drinks at one of the tents, but we didn't. We got cookies though. We were gonna get margaritas. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
I've recently learned that I like margaritas. I was just ordering them wrong. I was just ordering them the wrong before, which is why I thought I didn't like them.
We got to eat ham. We got to go to an Australian tent. Good day, mate.
What do the Aussies do different than the Texans?
Well, it's kind of different. They cook it. Their food is so good. Oh my God, it's so tender and juicy. And one more thing I would like to add is that Chelsea is currently, I think she's still looking for volunteers for the Have It Inside Expo, but we don't have to talk to her about that. Max, have you talked to her about that?
No, I have not talked to her about that, but it's like you say, it's been postponed or canceled.
Yeah.
We don't know. I mean, in just the last couple of days, the Word Camp Houston was canceled, and I was supposed to speak there, and that's not until May that that's.
Yes, a lot of events here in Houston, for those of you who don't know, are being postponed or canceled in March.
Yes, and the one that was a total shock that I didn't see coming was they're canceling the livestock show and rodeo.
The second half, yes.
Right. Well, they put it to a stop. It draws over 100,000 people every day.
Did you message me? I think you did.
What?
Oh, I thought you messaged me. Okay, never mind.
No, I don't think I may. It may have just come through. But they draw over 100,000 people every day for this event. It would be like New Orleans canceling Mardi Gras, to put it in perspective. It's a big deal.
Yes.
So.
And I'm very pleased to be on the What's Your Excuse show this morning with my good friend Max, also known around the world as the Blind Blogger. I want to thank you for finally getting me on your show. I've been begging you. I know I've been begging you. Max, come on. I met Max through a social media called Facebook through my good friend Chelsea, who was posting and sharing and tagging. And I said, this good person would be a good speaker for our support group. So I'm very pleased to have you come. I'm very pleased that you came last year. It was something I wanted you to do, and I'm glad you came out. And I'm sharing this because I want to, for my audience, to know that don't give up. Max is there to encourage anybody that needs him, like he always does to encourage me. And I just want to thank you, Max, for encouraging us who are scared to speak to other people or scared to speak on any shows or any events. Don't be shy. You may be blind, but you have no excuses.
It's
I
11.
really appreciate that. I really appreciate that, Elisa. I'm very touched by your words and your obvious emotion. And I look forward to hearing more great things out of you. I know that it's just a matter of you finding that right thing or them finding you, because there's just too much passion, too much enthusiasm, too much heart in you for you not to have something much more amazing in your future. And I can't wait to find out what it is. And more importantly, I can't wait to see what I can do to maybe help you get there. So thank you so much.
I'm very glad to connect with you, and I'm very glad for the Inside Expo Haven to connect me with my good friend Chelsea, as she taught me some great skills with makeup, hair techniques, and nails, and other skills that I use in my daily life. If it wasn't for the Inside Expo Haven, I would not have met Chelsea and all these other people that I know now in my circle. And I'm sorry, Max, if I brought this up. Max, is that okay?
No, it's totally okay. This is what we do on my show. We let it take us wherever it's going to take us. So I appreciate that you've shared so much and so openly. And I'm looking forward to some point down the road when Corona is behind us, and I can come out to your house or to whatever you're involved in and do an even more in-depth portrayal of my good friend Elisa.
I'm looking forward to hopefully going out with my good friend Max, and I'm hopefully going to talk to Ron and see if we could go out to eat together, because it's been a while since we've seen you. And I also would like to thank my good friend Max for my shirt that he sent to me via mail. I was so surprised when I got the shirt. I was really rejecting to send him my contact info for my house, but one thing is I'm very fortunate that he did that. And by the way, your talk was amazing. I'm still, oh my God, I'm still enthusiastic with the talk. Oh my God, videos passed me last month, January of this year, and I was so heavenly happy, and I'm blessed to have a good friend like Max. If any of y'all want to sponsor him for any of your events, booking shows, go ahead. You can find him at theblindblogger.net. If I'm saying this right, I'm not sure.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and looking, like I said, we'll stay in touch, and we'll see what happens next for both of us. I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
So Max, if you could sing the song of that one, not the river, but the other song that you sang before by that one girl, that one lady.
Oh, you mean Buckaroo?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I can do that. All right, I think I can do that.
Or if not, you can do the river. Go ahead, do the river.
No, I can do Buckaroo. I may not. Okay. I may miss a few words, but I think I can do it. Let's see.
This has been the What's Your Excuse show with Elisa Tovar. Thank you.
Yeah. The lady came in here. Now she took over my show, and I'm doing requests, y'all.
Yeah, I get a special request.
Buck up, little buckaroo, don't let the monkeys get to you. Hold on tight and you'll get through. Buck up, little buckaroo. Cheer up, little sunshine girl. There's lots of pain in this cruel world. Lots of rain falls on you, girl. Cheer up, little sunshine girl. Oh, it's gonna be all right. All right, I want you to know that you've come a long, 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 long way. You've still got a long way to go. You know, that is a perfect song for both of us, Elisa, and that's how we're going to quit. You can go to theblindblogger.net, find out more about me, use my sponsors, book me to speak, hire me to get you on podcast, theblindblogger.net. Thank you so much, Elisa. It's been a great time to get to spend with you, and I look forward to doing it again real soon.
You're welcome, my friend. I look forward to doing it again real soon. You can also get a T-shirt from Needle Shop, I think. Is that the correct website, Max? Needle Shop?
Yeah, but they can find that at the store on the website.
Oh, duh. Okay, never mind.
Oh, well, I have to remind myself. Don't worry about it. So really appreciate it, and look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Looking forward to it, too. And I have a question. Did I lose you?
No,
Hello?
you didn't lose me. No, I'm still here.
Oh.
You still there?
Is this going to go on Alexa?
Voiceover on Zoom.
Do what?
Is this going on the A-Lady?
Entering Zoom. Cancel. Yes. Button.